Hey everyone, Shadow Rockets here, and on today's episode, I'm going to be continuing our Halo lore discussion. I thought that since last time we discussed ODSTs, I'll kind of discuss maybe more of the major branch that they're in, which is called the Naval Special Warfare Command, or SPECWARCOM. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. It's actually not that hard. Anyway, what's included in SPECWARCOM is the Spartan Program, obviously, the ODSTs, Force Recon, and Oni Security. SPECWARCOM is the just general, again, special warfare branch of the UNSC, and it's actually mainly the UNSC Army, just because it's mainly ground forces. So, kind of going over a broad, I guess, branch discussion of the Spartan program. There's the Spartan 1 or Orion group, the Spartan 2 program, which consists of the blue, gray, green, and red team. And actually within the red team, there's Alpha team, Beta team, Gamma team, Delta, and Omega teams. And then there's also the black team. Now, within the Spartan 3 program, they're not called teams as much. Most of them are actually companies, which is larger groups. So you have the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta companies, the Headhunters, and the Noble team, which has one Spartan 2. Delta company was actually never formed, and I kind of want to make that another video entirely. And then, obviously, you have the Spartan 4 program. So, kind of going over what Spartans are in case you're new to the channel. Just going to go ahead and say they're super soldiers, and statistically they're the most effective infantry assets available to the UNSC, or the United Nations Space Command. They're personally responsible for countless victories against both Covenant and, as well as, I guess, some foreigners now after Halo 4 and Halo 5, as well as insurrection forces. As far as training goes, the Spartan 2s and 3s are actually very different from the 4s, with most 2s and 3s not getting Mjolnir-powered assault armor, but 2s and 4s and very, very few Spartan 3s actually getting the super soldier armor, which enhances their abilities even more. So these bio soldiers getting even stronger with the Mjolnir armor. ODSTs, which I just did a video on last week, I guess it would be now, are orbital drop shock troopers. They are disciplined and skilled. They dropped into most hostile areas via SOEIVs, which was their essentially orbital drop pods that they come in from above atmosphere and drop in behind the enemy in order to just deal all sorts of damage. Notable ODST units are the 105th Marine Expeditionary Unit, the SOC, the 2nd Shock Troops Battalion, and Alpha Team is part of that group, the 7th Shock Troops Battalion, the 1st Platoon is part of that group, 19th Shock Troops Battalion, 22nd Tactical, Alpha 9, 105th Drop Jet Platoon, 340th ODST Combat Training Unit with Echo Team and Kilo Team inside of it, the 3rd Helljumper Platoon, and the Bullfrogs. I'm going to do a video on the Bullfrogs, most definitely. The 105th unit, I believe, was the unit that actually got in a fight with John 117, where he managed to kill 3 of them and damage 1 of them, thus sparking the hatred between ODSTs and Spartans. Now, Force Recon is a group near and dear to my heart in particular, just because in Halo 3 it was so difficult to get the Recon armor, and the second that we were able to get it in Halo 4, I was like, alright, Recon, this is it, which was almost immediately. So that was a little bit sad, but Halo 3, yeah, you had to do a bunch of achievements for it, did it, and got it at one point in time. But that is in the past. Force Recon is the UNSC Marine Corps Special Forces contingent focused on reconnaissance and threat assessment. So, as the name alludes to, they are the recon force of the UNSC. Now, next we have Oni Security, the next part of the SPECWARCOM, and Oni Security is the personal security division of Oni by Naval Special Warfare Group, and they are recruited from the Army and Marines, placed in high priority locations. Their attire is darkened version of the Marine BDU with heavier armor, actually, just because they're protecting very high value assets, and so obviously they need to be ready and protected just in case anything should happen. And so that's pretty much the general makeup of SPECWARCOM, without going too deep into the UNSC Army, which I covered the UNSC Army Airborne Division previously as well. You should check that video out if you are into that. This is essentially their main group that we deal with in the Halo universe as far as the games go. So I think getting a grasp of the general configuration of the group kind of leads to a better understanding of what's going on in the Halo games. So again, without going into too much detail on each individual group, there are some special mentions that I want to throw in there with regards to special teams that are technically part of SPECWARCOM but technically not, and that would be Special Warfare Group 3. That includes Noble Team and 3 Charlie. So anyway, friends, if you like this video, if you learned something, don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to show your support for Halo lore. Shadow Rockets out.